welcome to a new video tutorial. This is what we are going to create. You can see it's a landing page but with some animation, so it looks pretty cool, it looks pretty wonderful, and it's actually not so hard to replicate. So you can see that this is a landing page that which you can find on Freepik. They have 1,000 landing pages that are as cool as this one. You can see that it's a very beautiful landing page, and you can find a lot of them on Freepik. So what we are going to do on this video tutorial is to animate one of these beautiful landing pages that they have. So I have on After Effects. Oh, before that, I'm going to share with you this vector file. You can see that I have already arranged all these layers so that you can use them when you create this video tutorial. And it's a very simple file, just a bunch of layers, and now you import them on After Effects and just open up the composition. It will be called vectors. Open up this composition and you will have all these layers here, so we can work on them. So you will find this, and you will have the background, you will have the white shape, which is the large square. You will have the shape, which is this purple shape. You will have a bunch of stuff. You will have all these little objects. You will have them on different layers. So for the background, we can lock this background for now because we are not going to do anything with this background. We're going to start with the white shape. You can see that here it begins, it starts, the white shape appears, and everything it starts going into this white shape. So this should be our first object. Let's turn everything off but this white shape. And this is a very simple animation, just a scaling. Just click on open up your scale attributes with the S on your keyboard, press on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Make it easy ease by going here, keyframe assistant and easy ease. And let's zoom in because I want to use, let's use for now 10 frames. Move 10 frames and create another keyframe, and this keyframe will have 100%. So on the first keyframe, if you want to create the jumping animation, should be 0. So let's drag this to 0, and this will happen just like this. Now probably it should be less than 10 frames, maybe like 6 frames. Let's see this. Yeah, I think this is okay. Now you can see, if we look at this, you can see that we have a little jump to this white shape. So to create that, just create another keyframe here, click here, this will be 102. So this one, the middle one, instead of leaving it on 100, let's go to 110%. So you will have this little jump. He will go to 110 and then go back to 100. So that's how you create a nice jump for the object. Alright, this looks good. That's it for the white shape. Now when this appears, we need this shape to appear as well. So let's drag this layer all the way to here with the opening bracket, and we're going to change the position. We're going to click on the stopwatch right here, and we're going to move some frames. Let's set it to 5 frames for now. Probably we'll change that later. And click on the keyframe, make them easy ease, and for this first keyframe of the shape, of the purple shape, we're going to move it in a diagonal line here all the way here. So the animation should be like this. Now this is good, but we have a problem. That is that the shape is, we can see the shape outside of this white shape, and we don't want that. We want this shape to only be inside the white big shape. So to do that, it's actually quite simple. Just duplicate this white shape, this big shape, duplicate it and place it on top of this purple shape. Let's change this to purple so that we can see what we are talking about. Alright, place this white shape on top, and for the purple shape, this one, we'll change the track matte to alpha inverted or alpha matte. Yeah, alpha matte. So now when he moves, when this object moves, you can see that we no longer see anything outside of this white shape because we're using this white shape as a mask. Alright, this looks good. Now we need to have the planets here, the stars on the planets, and we have these objects here, rockets and planets. Place them here. So we have this, the planets, and we can actually make them, we can parent them to our purple shape like this. So when the purple shape moves, the planets will move as well. Now you can see that we can see outside of this shape, so we need to duplicate this white shape and use it again as a mask with alpha matte here for the planets. Alright, now we're done with this. Alright, let's move in. We can trim this planets layer up to here, and now it's time to add this navigation bar and the search bar. So when this goes in, when he finishes moving the purple shape, we need to start animating then the nav bar and the search bar and the search icon. So let's bring these layers here. We can make them a different color. So as soon as the shape, the purple shape, stops moving, we begin animating this. Let's begin with a navigation bar. Just open the scale property, click on the stopwatch, move 5 frames, and here create another keyframe, and then just a little bit further we'll create another keyframe. Make them all easy ease. So the first one, and this will apply, we will apply this same process to a lot of objects, so keep in mind that all we are going to do is to set the first keyframe to 0, the second keyframe to 110, and the final keyframe on 100, so that we have this animation. This is probably too fast, so I'm going to spread this a little bit more so that we have this smoother animation. Alright, this looks good. Now it's time to animate the search bar. You can see that it goes from the middle and opens up to create the search bar like this. So this is actually easy to create. Just go here, and when this nav bar starts appearing, we're going to select the scale, click here, and then click over here, create a new one, and then a new keyframe. Make them all easy ease, and you remember how this works. This will be 110, and this will be 0. So you will have this, but this will actually have one other animation. When he gets here to this point, we're going to change some parts of this. So what we are going to do is to click here on the search bar, click here, go to create, and click on create shapes from vector layers. Now you can copy this scale property and paste it here on this new search bar outlines. You can delete this search bar vector file, and when it gets here, we're going to click here and open the contents, open the path, and click here on the stopwatch of the path, because we're going to change the shape of this search bar. Now go a little further here and click here to create a keyframe, make them easy ease, and now for the first keyframe we're going to change this path to a circle instead of this rounded rectangle. So we're going to take these points, all of these, we're going to take them to the middle so that it looks like a circle. So the shape will move from here to here. So let's see how this looks on the animation. Alright, that's it. You can see how this goes from a circle to a rounded rectangle. So when this becomes a rounded rectangle, this search icon will appear. So move this all the way here, and again just make some animation for the scale. This is really simple to create. Make them all easy ease. I try to make them all easy ease so that the animation is smoother and not so linear. So here 0, 110%, and 100. Alright, let's see how everything looks so far. Alright, so far we're good. Now, when this nav bar appears from here, I want also the logo here, this logo, and the menu icon to appear. So let's move into this part of the timeline and let's open logo and menu icon. Let's place them here. You can use a different color for them if you want, and just open the scale properties for them. We can make them both the same, and all we have to do is to take the scale property from the navbar, copy this scale with Ctrl and C, and place it here on the menu icon and on the logo. Now everything will have the same scale property, so it's pretty easy. Alright, as soon as this finishes, when they are on the size that they should be, we can start animating the other stuff. Right on this point, we can start animating the rest of the stuff. So let's begin with this line right here. And this line will be, let's place this line below the purple shape, like this, and we are going to change the position for this. We're going to click on the position and create a stopwatch, create a keyframe. So we're going to move a little bit and create another keyframe, and then move just a little bit more and create another keyframe, just like this. This should be your pattern. Now click here to make them easy ease, like this. Now for this first keyframe, I want to move this line all the way here behind the purple shape. Then he will get this line, which should get here, like this. But I want this to have a little bounce too, just like we did with the scaling. So on this keyframe, instead of setting this to this position, I'm going to take it a little bit to the left. So he will go to one position and go back. Maybe spread this a little bit more. All right. Maybe this is too much, right? Let's see how this looks now. All right. This is perfect. Maybe a little faster. All right. Now, when this line gets to this point, the final position, now it's time to animate the text, this text that goes right here. So this is pretty simple. Just, you can close this. We can close the shape too. We will have a bunch of layers, but don't worry. As long as you can identify them with colors, this will be good. All right. Now take all of these. You can take everything else to the bottom. And now when the line appears, there should be the title, which is this one. So take it all the way here. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up the position. I'm going to click here. I'm going to move like 10 frames more and click here, and again just a little bit more. Now remember to make them all easy ease frames. And now for this position, I want to change this all the way to the top, like this. Then this title will go right here. Move a little bit to the bottom, and then go back to have a nice bounce. This will be probably faster. All right, this is good. And we have now the position animation, but there's something wrong, which is that this text should appear from here. We shouldn't see it right here on this part. So what we have to do is to go to layer, go to shape layer, and now on this new shape layer, just draw a square with this side just a little below the line, like this. And now this line should be on top of this title, and the title on the track matte should be on alpha inverted matte. Now when he moves, you can see that it appears out of here because it's using the shape layer as a mask. Alright, so we are on the right track. So when this title stops moving, it's time to go for the text. Now with the text, we're going to apply the same process. Just open up the position, click on the stopwatch, move a little bit, create a new keyframe, and then one more. Make them all easy ease. You can see that we are animating a lot of things, a lot of objects, but they all have kind of the same animation, so it's not so complicated. All right, for the text, the key for the first keyframe, it should be right here, and then move a little bit more to the bottom, and then go back. Now, if your text, if any object starts playing funny with the animation, all you have to do is to select the last keyframes and right click on them and go to keyframe interpolation, and on spatial interpolation, instead of auto bezier, click on linear. So the animation should be linear, and you will have no problem, because otherwise this motion track can be a little weird. Alright, so this is good. Now when this stops moving, this text stops moving, it's time to move for all of these layers, which is the get started button. Now let's begin with the get started shape. You can see it's called GS shape, and for this we're going to do very simple animation. Just open up the scale, click on the scale, move a little bit, and click again. And for the first keyframe, just set it to 0. So when this text starts, this should appear. Now when this shape is completed, we will have the arrow and just open up the position, click here, move a little bit farther, and click here to create a new keyframe. Now for the first position, just select this arrow and take it to the left. You don't even have to create a mask because it's on a white background. So you will have this animation so far. Now when this is completed, when he stops here, it's time to animate the get started with some scaling. Create a keyframe, create another keyframe, make them both easy ease, and this one should be on 0. Oh, but first create a new keyframe here, and this one, instead of 100, 110. So we will have the bouncing effect that we created for all the other objects. Alright. Now let's see what we have so far, because we're almost finished here with this animation. Let's see what we have so far. Alright, it's looking good. Now let's go again for our text, and now it's time to create another mask for this text. To do this, just go to layer, go to shape layer, and on this new shape layer create a shape like this one. Now the text should be alpha inverted 2, so when the text appears, it will appear out of here. Alright, now we're done with this, and now it's time to animate the rocket and the planets. So let's move here to the beginning and go to the part when this shape appears, when the purple shape stops moving, which is here. We're going to move the rocket. We're going to open up the position. We're going to create a keyframe for the position here and another one later. And for now we can leave it like this. Let's make them easy ease. So the first position of the rocket should be around this point, so when the purple shape starts, it moves into the shape. Now you may figure that we have to use a mask so that we don't see the rocket on this point, and this is quite simple. Just take your shape, your purple shape, and duplicate it, bring it here on top of the rocket, and click on Attract Matte, and for the rocket click on Alpha Inverted Matte, and you will have this. Now we need to create a nice animation for this rocket. You can see the animation that I created here. You can see that it's moving, it goes back and moves some more. So when he gets to this point, we need to move a little more and change the position like this, so you will have this. Make this all linear, and maybe this can be farther away. And then we can bounce back to the final position like this. Now this should be closer because I want this to be like this. I want this rocket to appear and then goes back slow and then goes back to the final position faster, because I want to have this like dragging animation. Alright, now we can duplicate these final two keyframes. Duplicate it once, duplicate it twice, and we can actually duplicate it one more time. So you will have this. Alright, you can see that it takes longer for it to go back and shorter to go back to the final position. So this is a nice animation. Alright, now when we get to this point, we can actually finish with this animation. So click on End and trim come to work area. Alright, now one final thing is to create an animation for the planets and the rockets, because you can see that this rocket should look like it's moving into the universe. So right now it's completely still. So this is actually not so hard to do. Just take your planets layer, we have it here, and we have it right on this point. Now this is what we are going to do, and this may be a little tricky because we are going to work with several layers, but don't worry, I will guide you there. So far we have the planets, and the planets is attached to the purple shape, so that when the purple shape enters, the planet enters as well. So what we must do is to create some duplicates for this planet. Now take the planets and the white shape mask and duplicate it with Ctrl and D to create a copy. Let's draw this copy into a cyan color and click on the planets tool, which is the copy, and take it a little bit to here. So when it enters, you will have a new copy. You can see how we have a new set of planets. So you will have these planets too, and we are going to take this and create yet another copy of this. So this copy could be brown, and take only the planet 3, which is the third copy, and take it here to create another duplicate. So now we have 3 versions of the planet, and here is what we are going to do right now. We're going to take the duplicates and parent them not to the shape but to the planets layer. And now when this planet gets here, when it stops moving, which is right on this point, we're going to create a keyframe here, and we're going to move all the way to the final part of the animation, and we're going to move these planets all the way to here to the final, until the final copy gets to this point. Make this easy ease, and these two, and here is how it should look like. So we have all these planets moving with the rocket. So this is very nice. Now we have a problem here, and is that right now the planets are using the white shape as a mask, but this shouldn't be the case. We should use the purple shape as a mask. All we have to do is to click on our purple shape, go to create, and create shapes from layer. So you will have these shape outlines, which you will place replacing the white shapes mask. So take it to the first planets layer, remove the white shape, duplicate it, and take it on top of the planets 2, and one more duplicate and take it on top of the planet 3. Now this should be how it looks, but it's time to take these shape outlines and turn them off, and now we are all set. So that's it. You can see how easy it is to animate a landing page. Let's see our final work, how it looks. Pretty nice. You can see how beautiful it looks, the animation, and with just a simple steps. With the thing with the animation is that you can try to simplify yourself as much as you can, especially in these cases. Now in these times, you don't need to have a so complicated animation to have a nice result. You can see that this animation is really simple. It's just scaling and moving, changing the position for some of the objects, and with this simple animation we can create a beautiful final result. So this is it for the video tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any doubt, you can place them on the discussion board, and remember that I'm going to share with you these vector files, and remember that on Freepik you can find a lot of beautiful landing page, so you can use maybe use another landing page from Freepik to create an animation instead of using this same one that I did. And remember that you can post your own projects on TootPad, so it would be really nice to see how you did it on this video tutorial. Thank you for joining me, and see you on another tutorial.